Good morning, 2-3. Happy Tuesday. Today is Math Project Tuesday, so your project today is going to be math related. Before I even get into that, I just want to do a quick reminder that you have Study Island assignments for this week. You should be pacing yourself and doing one every day. They are all due by Friday night, so you do not have to have them all done until then, so take your time with it. Make sure you're watching the lesson first and then doing the practice. So I wanted to point that out, and I also want to remind you that this is also a catch-up week. So if you are missing any assignments, please make sure you're getting them done by the end of this week, because progress reports will be going out next week, and it will make your grades increase if you're getting your work done as opposed to having missing grades for progress reports. Okay, so those were the 2 points that I just want to make quickly. Now today's project is actually one that I'm excited about. I've actually did it and it was fun. It's called an Array City math project. So when we look at your instructions, the first thing is you're going to watch my video. The second, it talks about how you're going to create your own array city, and then it tells you what you're going to do. So I'm going to get right into it and just kind of open it up. So the first couple slides, it's important to say, are just giving you some lesson direction. So if you do get confused at any point about what an array is again, you have these slides to go back to. So the very first slide is just showing you what an array is, and again going over how rows go across and how columns go up and down. I am going to say it's very important that you know this, because part of the array city that you have to create, you have questions you have to answer, and you need to know the difference between the rows and the columns. So if you need to, you could come back to this picture and make sure that you understand what rows are and what columns are, okay? The second slide is going over the repeated addition. So repeated addition does not look the same depending on if you're giving me repeated addition according to your rows, or if you're giving me repeated addition according to your columns. You would have two different repeated addition. Your answer is the same because the total doesn't change, but how you're counting does change. So again, when you have to answer some questions and you're confused about the repeated addition, this is what you would come back to help you. And then the next one is just going over, is this considered an array? And the answer would be yes, because everything is equal, everything is straight. Okay, this is what an array looks like. And slide 4 is showing you that this would not be considered an array because it is not equal. As you could see, something is missing here, which means that that's not an array. Also, if these circles were just spread out all over and not in nice, neat rows, that would also not be considered an array. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, this is where your project's going to start just basic. The next couple slides, all you will have to do is look at the picture and tell me if it's an array. If it's an array, you're going to take this circle and you're going to put, either you're going to circle yes or you're going to circle no. That's all you're going to do for the first couple slides, is just get your mind ready on what is an array, so that when you have to create it, you know what to do. So this is the very first part. So the next couple slides, like I said, as you could see, they're going to show you all different kinds, and you're going to tell me yes, it's an array, or no, it's not, and you're going to do that by taking the circle and dragging it. Now we get to the fun part, 2-3. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be building an array city. So you're going to be doing that because you're going to see different pictures like this that have buildings, okay? And you're going to be creating this building by using different size windows. Now, I'm going to be modeling that for you so that way you have an example fully when you have to do yours. But one of the main things that I want to start off with is you have to make sure whatever window you choose, you have to use the same size window for your array on this building. You won't be able to do this window and this window and this window and this one. That's not an array. It wouldn't be equal size, okay? You have to decide, oh, for this building, I like this window, and that's what you would use. So I just want to make sure that the first thing I'm telling you is whatever window you choose, it has to be the same one for your array. When you go to a different one, you could choose, when you go to a different building, you could choose a new window. That's fine. But whatever you choose for this one, it has to be the same size. So I am going to choose this one. So that means that I have to use this size the whole time I create my array, okay? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to drag it. And I'm just going to create an array any way that I want. Notice how it has to be equal and neat. Okay, so this is my array. Pretty fancy windows it looks like now. Okay, so now that I just created my array on this building, I am now going to come to the next part. And now this part, I need to answer questions based on what I just did. So most of you using Google Slides, you're going to be able to see your picture right here to help you. But if you need to click back and forth, you obviously can. Okay, but you actually can still see it here. So the very first question says, there are blank rows with blank windows in each row. So I need to make sure that I need to count how many rows I have. Now this is why I said if you need to go back to the beginning, make sure you do. Remember, rows are going across. So it's telling me that I have 1, 2, 3 rows, and in each row I have 1, 2. Okay? So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to click this and I'm going to say that I have 3 rows and I have 2 windows in each row. So now it's asking me to come up with my repeated addition equation. So that would be 2 plus 2 plus 2. So now I'm going to come here, and that's what I'm going to do. Plus 2, plus 2, and then equals 6. Okay? Now I'm going to come to the next part. Now it's asking me there are blank columns with blank windows in each column. Again, if you're still confused between rows and columns, go at the beginning and make sure you're looking. So now we know columns go up and down. So I have 2 columns, 1 column, 2, and in each column I have 1, 2, 3 windows. Okay, so now I'm going to say I have 2 columns with 3 windows in each. And now I need to come up with my repeated addition equation. Again, it will not most likely be the same as this depending on what you made for your array, because this was based on my rows and this is based on my columns. So my repeated addition for the columns will be 3 plus 3. My answer will be the same because we talked about that, but you will not have the same repeated addition equation for this one. Okay? This part we're not doing, that's why I just crossed it out so you don't have to worry about anything with that. And then you come down, to the bottom, and it says there are a total of blank windows on the building. So now this is when you're just telling me the total number of windows you have, which in this case would be 6. Okay? So this is going to stay here for you. My example will be here. My model will be here for you. And then you are going to create 4 different buildings on your own. So this is your first one. Again, you will choose any one of these window sizes and you will make your array on this building. And then you will answer your questions just like I did. The questions are the same for everyone. It's not new questions. They're all the same. Okay. Then you're going to come to the second one and make your array and answer the same questions. Third, answer questions. Fourth, answer questions. I will say this, your arrays have to be different. So I do not want to see the same exact number on every building so that way that means that your answers are the same thing over and over again. No. This is a fun project. You get to be creative. You get to have fun with making arrays. Please don't try to sit there making the same array on every one because I will not give you credit and I will hand back your project to you and make you redo it. So please make sure that for this one you're doing a certain array. When you come to the next building, you're being creative and doing another array. Again, and so on. So for all 4 that you have to make, I want 4 different arrays, and then you're answering the questions. So I hope you have fun with this because, like I said, I actually had fun with it when I was making it. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here to help you and enjoy.